Yeah, yo. Woke up in the morning and to God be the glory. Thankful for another day to tell my story. Put my opinions in the universe and let them orbit. I'm from the dirty south with a dirty mouth, might need orbit. Miss things on me like a nigga Norbit. Had to refuse them cause my bitch no refusion, she gorgeous. As I dap my sons up and kiss my daughter forehead. Tell them we gon' get this money till my pockets morbid. Remember living in apartments, now we playing mortgage. You ain't gotta like a nigga regardless, baby, I'm blessed. And I keep that blick with me, we like grits and eggs. As you sip your coffee, flick your cigarette and let a nigga vent. Yeah.
We back. We back. Grits and Eggs podcast. It's episode 85. I'm your host, Deontay Kyle, but who's behind the camera?
The owner of the Kumbaya Coffee Shop. The coolest co-host in the world, Big Ice Cup Cat.
Come on down. Come on down.
Come on down and get you a banana cognac.
Oh, yeah. What's our new drink?
The Cavassier latte.
Oh, yeah.
The
It'll
Cavassier
clean you
latte,
out, baby.
The
colonoscopy.
The colonoscopy latte.
Factory reset them intestines. We'll get you back to 1 day old.
You won't fart for 3 days. You'll be squeaky clean, baby.
Oh, we're going to drop a new engine in you.
New transmission, baby. You're hitting on all cylinders now, baby.
Oh, you back. 657-234-EGGS. That's 657-234-3447. For all the call-ins, we have a couple of voicemails, but we won't be reading any voicemails today.
Ow!
But I'll let you know a little bit more about that in a minute. Deontay at Deontay Kyle for all business inquiries and bookings.
Mm-hmm.
I am booked. I am busy.
Yeah.
I'm finna fly to New York.
Hey.
Come back. We're going to do a show.
Hey.
Come back. Going to North Carolina.
Hey.
Come back. Going to Detroit.
Well, goddamn.
And we got a couple of special guests coming
Yeah. 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 Go leave that right there for you.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
If you know, you know, baby.
And it ain't the bankhead bounce.
Go and get your salamander sandals ready. NMM, that's New Music Monday, abbreviated NMM at DeontayKyle.com for all your New Music Monday submissions. New Music Monday on the rise.
New Music Monday going up.
Going up.
Views going up.
Move that light so I can see your face.
Yeah, my bad, son.
Yeah. Production.
Yeah,
I need to look in your eyes.
Yeah. It's usually a camera right there, bro. You know. Yeah. It's usually a camera.
Well, we don't got the camera today.
Nah.
We'll let you know a little bit more about that in a minute.
Uh-huh.
Advice at DeontayKyle.com for all the advice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, please use these emails accordingly.
Yeah.
We don't want to piss off the Saint.
Please do not piss the Saint off.
But if you would like to support the Saint, DeontayKyle.com for all your merch.
Ow.
Go get you some merch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're finna revamp that website.
Hey.
The Kumbaya Coffee Shop merch is out.
Hey.
Original Man Coffee.
Original Man Coffee.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Coffee Black. Tap in.
Shout out to Coffee Black, the original man.
Yeah, tap in. Coffee Black.
Ethiopian coffee. That's the original man.
Yeah.
They say that's where the Garden of Eden was at.
This is where it at.
Okay.
Cradle of civilization. Pretty God, he don't drop this shit.
Don't drop it. So go get your merch.
Yeah. Get your merch.
A couple of the cousins have pulled through.
Oh.
They went booked
Okay.
over there at Eastside Dental.
Hey.
Nothing but great reviews.
That's what I'm talking about.
Shout out Dr. Devontae Johnson, man. That's my cousin.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out my cousin. You over there?
Huh?
Southwest Atlanta? You over there in the SWATs?
Yeah.
District 11?
Oh.
Go ahead and vote for Stephen Dingle.
Stephen Dingle.
Oh, Steve-O. Oh, Steve-O. He be outside with an A-hat.
He be outside.
You
Son was
remember?
outside.
Look, man. He got to do it like he used to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
For
saying?
sure.
Yeah. That's a real campaign.
Yeah. He's outside.
I heard he was in the Take Me Through that video.
He was in to take me through that video. That's Stephen Dingle, son.
Stephen Dingle in that bit like this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's who I want represent me.
You feel me?
Yeah, that's who I want.
You
feel
me?
Yeah, give me
He
him.
have been in the pool palace before.
Yeah. Oh, he's definitely walked it out in the pool palace. Yeah, he's tall TR.
He had a tall TR.
He definitely
with
had
a sticker on there.
For sure.
All right, that's how we got today. We have a special episode for you guys today.
Hey.
So, Big Head, say your salutations.
I have nothing to say.
Well, salutations is like saying goodbye.
Yeah, I know.
Is it?
No, I think
or
so.
Is it hello?
No, salutations saying goodbye.
Just say bye to the people. You leave the people with a parting word. Big Head's Corner.
Ah, Big Head's Corner at the Kumbaya Coffee Shop. Come down and get your spoken word on. Get you a banana cognac, Cavassier latte. Have you right. You'll be going to the bathroom in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a medical staff on standby. we just left the Core Atlanta.
Yeah, we did.
The cancer,
colon
research,
cancer,
colon
yeah.
cancer research. Yeah, man, we're trying to get your stool right. Man.
Yeah, man, we're trying to make sure your intestines is good, man. Your colon is good.
Hey, man, it's a very special episode.
Yeah. What you got?
I got a queen.
You got the queen on here?
The queen.
Who is the queen?
Miss Amanda Seales.
Ow! Drop a bomb, Flex.
Oh shit! Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yes, sir.
The radical, sabbatical, the tactful, impactful.
Yeah.
Amanda Seales.
Her defense is impregnable.
It's impregnable.
The defense is impregnable.
Enjoy the interview, man. This is my first virtual joint. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm honored.
Yeah, you the first. Hold on, let me get in my introduction, man. How do people introduce? All right, gang. We have a multi-hyphenate creative. Actress, comedian, author, media personality, activist.
I hate all of those titles.
A radical.
Just go there. Actress, comedian.
Yeah, that's what they do, right? I normally just talk to my guests, but
what's stopping you?
No, you're the first virtual guest. We got to do this.
We had a whole conversation before we started.
We're on the brink of her Amanda Land Summit.
Oh my gosh.
We just watched her run intellectual circles around 20 Black conservatives. And we were born 3 days apart. Amanda Seales,
You're
everybody.
Cancer. June Cancer or July Cancer?
July the 4th.
Wow, look at you, Susie Blue.
Do
you go to therapy?
I do not. I need to, seriously.
Every cancer man should be in therapy once a week minimum. It should start with 3 months of twice a week. Hardcore, like a regimen.
All right.
Because y'all have all the emotions, but then you also have like the intellect, but then you have a society that won't let you combine the two. So it's a tough spot.
Yeah, I think when I've been called a narcissist a few times.
In what context?
That either I'm too emotional, where it's emotional manipulation, or not enough emotion, which is also.
I think you're just neurodivergent, but narcissism is an overused word. Narcissist is I preserve my feelings over everything else, and I will do whatever it takes to protect myself, which means oftentimes just avoiding any level of criticism or self-awareness.
I just think that there's like these Hail Mary words that people use.
Yeah.
When there's no argument to be won there. It's just like,
I mean, did you grow up with both your parents?
So, yeah. So until I was like 13, 11, 12, 13. Because my mom is actually the person that moved initially. So when they split up.
Well, that's going to make narcissism happen. Hate to break it to you.
Living with your dad?
Just having a parent leave.
Yeah. Then I flipped. So that's how I ended up in Atlanta. Because before I started high school, I moved in with mom.
I mean, if you want to like be useful in resistance, you're gonna have to go to therapy.
I mean,
because what has
I wanna
prevented,
be-
in my theory, one of the big reasons why our resistance has been able to be so, our resistant efforts have always been able to be so easily infiltrated is because we are not mentally and spiritually strong like we need to be, considering the evils that we're fighting.
Yes, it's a lot because it's nonstop. Also, even outside of like that, it's some shit I need to unpack on myself, some personal shit, like just to kind of get through it. You know what
I mean,
I'm
how old are
saying?
you?
35.
Oh, it's a good time. This is the time.
Yeah, it's like prime
This
time.
is it's prime
this is
time.
like
You better get in the game.
yeah.
You'll be right by 38. You'll be right. Yeah.
I like so I take it you are in therapy.
Oh yeah. I'm a
Yeah.
big believer. I mean, your therapy changes over time. You know, the type of therapy that you need or that you find useful. I have a therapy session right after this.
Oh, word. All right, bet. Yeah, I'm actually not drinking until spring. That's like one of my goals.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed since I've been like self-employed over the last 5 months, my drinking has seen an uptick.
Really?
Yeah.
As like a coping mechanism?
Yeah, it's a lot of because there's no like safety net. It's just like all on me. So
Which is beautiful as well as a bitch.
Exactly, because it's like there is no like PTO. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Also, no insurance. You know what I'm saying? There's just
none of that.
I'm 5 months in, so it's like it's just a conscious decision that I made. I was like, look, I knew I was going to this Clips concert the other day, and I was like, all right, after that, I'm cool. I'm gonna chill.
Okay.
I just got with WME, and so now I'm finna start a tour.
Okay.
It's a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? I got a brand. I got a meeting with brands for ad reads on the pod. It's a lot of shit going on, and I'm
Get
the
it
one.
while it's hot.
Yeah. I take all these meetings too, so it's like.
Well, you have to stay sharp too. You know, so the liquor also prevents the sharpness. And I mean, you're clearly a neurodivergent person, so liquor is gonna not be your best friend, but sleep is.
Well,
like going to sleep at a like regular time is.
And
I mean,
alcohol.
Right. So
yeah, because
and it'll just be healthier for your body.
Yeah, I feel a little bloated in the face and shit. You know what I'm saying? I look a little puffy. You know what I'm saying? Once I don't know if I'm neurodivergent or vain as hell. Where I'm just like,
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? This little shit right here, this ain't it.
I'm not with it. I mean, I'm a size large in shorts now, and I just had to accept that and call it thickness. just forge forward.
Yeah, because I've been embraced the dad bod shit over like the last 2 years, but I'm also like I want to feel good in my body.
You're too 35 to be just embrace. Listen, body positivity is one thing. Body positivity is one thing, but if it's attributed to an unhealthy lifestyle, that's a different story.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Well, I was driving trucks too, so it's like, you know, my entire 30s I've been
sitting, right? Like the sedentariness of it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I noticed like, and I only gained weight in like my mid area. I don't know.
Not you got the skinny legs.
I wouldn't say skinny. We wouldn't go that far.
Not skipping leg day.
I'm proportionate. I just don't get shit like the
Mr. Potato Head ass.
All right. I'm gonna let you cook because you my guest.
Humpty Dumpty ass. All right.
You got one more?
I don't. Because
All
I'm
right,
the guest. Respect.
all right. So, all right. So, elephant in the room.
What is it? Oh,
Political violence.
they ain't in the room no more.
Come on, nigga. Out the room like it.
Room was clear. Cleared them out.
Yeah. You know, when it happened, somebody sent me the video immediately, and like, you know, I'm not no squeamish nigga, so we grew up like kind of watching this type of shit on the internet, like early 2000s and whatnot. So, they was just reporting it as shot. I was like, cause
When I saw the video, I was like,
yeah, that was on Impact. That was over with. But I want to ask this. Because I'm sure you share my same sentiments about white liberals. But have you seen this like Dean Withers kid?
the one who said he was crying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. Thoughts and prayers for sure.
Well, I think ultimately we get caught up in this, and I gave myself 24 hours to be a part of the narrative, the rhetoric, right?
Mm-hmm. Just kind of be a little facetious about it.
Well, yeah. Okay, I'll be honest. Yes. The greater problem with liberals reacting this way is, in my opinion, that they are conflating deeply seated racism as a political opinion.
Right. So, I gave myself some time too, just to kind of like get that shit off. I stay away from Twitter, but I have taken a liking to Threads. And basically my thing is like y'all are calling like white supremacy and fascism an opinion.
Yep. That's what you're calling it.
An opinion.
And the liberals that are supporting that are again perpetuating the Democrat controlled opposition efforts.
I think
because liberal. Sorry, go ahead.
I think one of the biggest benefits to being a conservative is having liberals on your side.
Absolutely, because they're going to hold order. That is what liberals are about. They're more concerned, and that's what Dr. King talks about in his book. Where do we go from here? Community or chaos? He says, liberals are more concerned with order than progress.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, the performance of like being on the right side of history, that's like a big thing with people, is that when the history books, when they tell the story, I'm going to be on the right side of history. But like their right side of history is still like maintaining white supremacy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because when they think about that, when they talk about that, I'm just like, well, what are you expecting to be writing the books?
Oh, absolutely.
Because if that's the case, then we're still.
They want to be the authors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
They want to be the authors. I think this thing of like, I try not to go like, death for death with these people, because that's a long road ahead. But I think when they start talking about stuff like, there were kids there, his daughter was there, and things like that, and it's like, these are the same people that like if he had it his way, she would own you. And
this is the same person who said that Palestine doesn't exist.
Well, also, empathy is a made up word. So
so we're not going death for death. We're going quote for quote right now.
For quote, for sure.
And every quote we're saying is antithetical to the defense that people are applying, right? And so what happens is people use these individuals as a symbolism, as a way to project their own, desire to, like you said, be on the right side of history, et cetera, instead of seeing these individuals within their own existence, right? Like, I don't need Charlie Kirk or my response to Charlie Kirk to in any way be an indicator of where I exist in history. I am responding to how he existed in history.
Right. And death doesn't erase like your life. It doesn't erase, and not only that, in your last words, you was finna send
Bruh,
out a racist
you
dog
was
whistle.
literally in the
Like
midst of it.
niggas got gang violence out, and I mean,
And they
Grand
have
Close.
footage now that shows that there's like men on the side of him doing
Doing
hand signals and right.
signals and shit. Yeah, tugging
So,
at the head.
but the bigger issue here is that immediately, first of all, when I saw that the announcement came via Donald Trump, I said, "Oh, I know where this is going."
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I didn't see this reported by Reuters or reported by CNN or reported by AP. I saw them report Donald Trump says Charlie Kirk is dead. So first of all, we have to, using media literacy, understand that that headline is controlled, manufactured consent. The fact that it was reported via the president, that's just another version of him signing your COVID check.
Right.
It's him putting his name on it to align a certain thing with his rhetoric, and his rhetoric is representative of a greater white nationalist movement. Okay, so that's
Right.
one.
A
Two,
white Christian nationalist thing, and then
yes.
flying flags that have staff and things like this,
So that
like
is
leaders of
actual.
our time and shit like that. You know what
Now,
I'm
the
saying?
second thing I saw was that he immediately put out a video on his Truth Social saying that this is somehow attached to leftist violence and it needs to be checked. And he dog whistled all of white nationalists, all the alt-right groups, etc., to now
Absolutely.
do the opposite of stand down, but to stand up, and we're gonna quiet all the leftist organizations, etc. Like the People's Forum, which is a socialist space here in New York City, like they got some letter from some senator or representative the other day saying that like they're going to be under audit for how they're spending their money, which is again another effort of the tools of fascism to quiet leftists. Like, you're considered a leftist, so like
Yeah.
you're at WME. I'm curious to see how they're going to handle those of you that they represent who are actively against this effort, because it's a McCarthyism movement that's about to happen.
Yeah, that was one of my like very first things. I was like, y'all know what I do. Y'all know what I talk about. Y'all ain't just looking at the numbers. Are y'all listening to the shit I say? Like the two guys I was in the meeting with are like extremely hip. You know what I mean? As far as even things that I know aren't like extremely relevant to like things that I've went viral for recently. Things is like as far back as last year. So I was like, all right, that's cool. We'll see. But I think the thing is like for me, I knew it was weird because when I saw the video and then I see the report is shot critical condition. It's like, oh, y'all don't have the green light to like report his death. So, more in alignment with what y'all is like, Trump wants to handle this the way he wants to handle it. Now, another thing that strikes me as odd is like, where are these people who have like alternative expressions in Utah?
My brother. They're on a college campus.
Yeah, but but like it didn't seem like it was one of those college campuses where he was there. I mean, was
No,
he
I'm
there?
agreeing with you. They're in Utah on a college campus.
It's like
I don't know if you
Mormon.
ever did you ever see oh man, with their menaces, black menaces. Did you ever see their videos on TikTok?
Mm-mm.
It's these black folks that were at Brigham Young University, and I think they were at another Utah university, but they started at these schools where they would just ask white people questions like, do you know who Harriet Tubman is? Do you know who Rosa Parks is? And they'd be like, no.
Yeah. So to me, this thing is this. It's like one of the like biggest tenets that I know of about Mormonism is just that they look at our melanin as like the sign of the devil type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a curse. So I'm out already, full stop. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool.
Y'all
Yeah,
got it.
y'all got that shit, bro. It really ain't no conversation that we can really have because you automatically is just like, this nigga's the devil. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, the only other thing, my auntie, I got an auntie that's like, she would be a little bit more conservative leaning as we were growing up due to like Christianity and things like that, right? But as she's been like tapped in with my show and like just kind of getting to know me more as an adult, she's a little radical, you feel me?
Right. Yeah.
So she was like, man, that was a well-placed shot. I said, oh shit, it's 6:15 in the morning. I'm getting up to take my daughter to school. She's like, yeah, that from 200 yards, well-placed shot right to the jugular. She was like, I'm interested to see how they're going to spin this to make this about us. I said, damn.
Good
Damn.
job, Deontay.
Yeah.
It's tough to get family to
Well,
move.
I mean, and we're talking about auntie knocking on 50, you feel me?
I'm
And
with
her
it,
thing
auntie.
was, she said, her quote was, they'll sacrifice 2 white men to make this a way to turn it around on us.
Baby, heck yeah.
And I was like, damn, auntie, you on that shit.
Auntie
You on
was
that
on
shit.
it though. Auntie prayed on that, and that's what she came up with. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I was like, nah, if I got my auntie on their radical shit, I know I'm doing something because this is, there's somebody that's in, she's a child psychologist, Christian, you know what I'm saying? Like, her school of thought has always been a little bit more left leaning, but that religion, man,
chokehold.
It'll wrap you right up. And I mean, we seeing it today with a lot of these Stevens. It's a lot of Stevens out here.
What does that mean?
From Steven from Django.
Oh. Is we sick, boss?
We sick.
Is we sick?
Oh, we sick.
I'm currently writing a poem called Flowers for Massa about this.
Yeah.
It's called Flowers for Massa. And I'm still in the midst of it, but it begins. Massa died today, and we were ordered to kneel in his field and pray that his soul be redeemed.
Well, I mean, you could just make that a haiku.
He's like, that's it. And sing. Let it, that's it.
I mean, really just fade it out. You know what I'm saying? That was it. Yeah, because I'm at this place because I too, like you, I don't vibe or mesh with like the liberal thing. I know that my politics are left leaning. But I too align with just more radical thought. And I don't have time to like try to understand. I can't understand a person that's gonna say, oh yeah, like black women doesn't have the brain processing power. If I see a black pilot, I'm like, I hope he's qualified. When I'm in the customer service and these black moronic women are there, I'm wondering, is this a DEI hire or is this a product of her bad choices? All these different things, right? This man has said throughout his career, civil rights was a bad idea. All of these different things. And then this person dies, right? And then these people are like, we need to pray for the family. Like, nigga, shut up.
We need to pray that his sons don't feel compelled to carry on his legacy.
I mean, I just don't want nothing to do with that. I just don't understand.
Well, I think it's a virtue signal. It's really just that. It's a virtue signal. It's really
all these people that will reshare memes from Inglorious Bastards, like, oh, the only good Nazi is a dead Nazi, and then like
right.
Literally pray for a Nazi when he dies. Insane to me.
I don't. Well, you know what's also insane to me?
Performance shit, though.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but did Barack Obama and these other Democrats, did they send out like
thoughts and prayers? For sure.
No. Thoughts and prayers when the representative from Minnesota was murdered?
Absolutely not. And did any of them make a peep about those children that were shot in Colorado?
Because Gavin Newsom literally put out a tweet saying, we need to carry on Charlie's legacy. And y'all want to, not y'all, but folks want to be on my head about Democrats.
I mean, what is his legacy? Arguing, like being a grown man and debating with college age kids, but then having nothing to say when other grown men with fully developed brains are in front of him, opposing his views.
I mean, just last week he had my name in his mouth.
Well, and then I also look at people like Dean Withers as controlled opposition. Like, oh, y'all were buddy. Y'all are just more of the same. This is like great value Democrats and Republicans. They just like buddies behind the scene. Let's debate on camera for views and clicks. But like, I feel like the thing with the Dean Withers kid is like, damn, I just watched my bag.
I didn't see that coming. You fixed me with that one.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's like somebody calling you like, damn, they pulled the car over with all the bricks in it. Like, damn, we was gonna fuck the streets up with them bricks, but
gotta go get a job.
I gotta get a job. But I don't know, man. It kind of leads me into my questions that I wanted to talk to you about your appearance on Jubilee. First of all, shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? Being able to just like, we obviously do need therapy because there was a way that you maintain your composure throughout that.
I flipped one time, but they cut it.
So they cut that, but then also too, just kind of like redirecting those people's energy constantly to like, this is a debate. That was
a 3 hours taping.
Yeah, and it was so there's a whole hour and a half missing.
I mean, I don't think people understand how long you're having to engage. You know what I mean? Like, it's not for the mentally, like, I can't run for shit. Like, my lungs are just not made for that. They are not Kenyan made. But
yeah,
my mental capacity and stamina was tested that day, and I'm proud to say that I came out of there together.
I would say this. I would say one of my biggest observations throughout is that the Black women there were a little bit more willing to engage in a debate from a more respectful manner instead of a lot of it being like just over talking. Two of them specifically.
Well, by the time they got there, I had already raised up and said, I will leave. Like, I didn't come here for free to have men yelling in my face.
Yeah, so there's the thing. A Black man with an Israeli coin around his neck, but saying white culture is better than Black culture when they have an entire history of barbarism. Like, what the fuck is that?
You know, so I'll tell you that one of the things that, because, of course you're going to leave and be like, damn, I should have said, I should have said. I mean, that haunted me for like a month, that I should have said.
Well, I mean, but you would say, even what you said in the moment, though, was just as important. You was on the top. Yeah.
The thing about their quote unquote arguments was, in many cases, they were so nonsensical that my brain would freeze up. Because it was like, I don't even know how to argue there's no such thing as white supremacy. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, I'll be spamming that on the internet. This? Because it's like, nigga, what? So there's a kid, Matt Nuclear.
He did an interview with Charlie Kirk.
Stage name
last week.
Sure. Okay. So stage name for sure.
Oh yeah.
But also the way you clocked it, like, nigga, are you acting, nigga? I was like, yeah, because okay, so it's scary, right? This is a young man, and the stance of a black conservative is watch white supremacy put a knife in you and then deny that the knife is there.
1000%.
That is how I see that. Because
Well,
even with your arguments, it's like tweets. Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, talking point. Reiterate that. Not like factual backing. Not even address anything that you say. Just like let me redirect this back to like some statistic or some crazy ass quote that I heard somewhere that, like you said, it has no factual backing, but it's a way of like, we're not going to have this argument in good faith.
Which is why we have to discuss capitalism. Because this is not only a result of, white mediocrity, supremacy, but it is also the result of capitalism creating a pathway through white supremacy for whoever wants to engage in it, right? So, like in my play, What Would the Ancestors Say? I do a monologue as Harriet Tubman, and I talk about how Coonan used to be like a source of survival. It was like, for some folks, it felt better to choose to love your master than to be forced to be their slave, right? But at this point, Coonan is a career path. They have successfully made allowing your body and mind to be colonized and weaponized against Black people and anyone who is against their trajectory. They have made that as an option, and that can be done by nuclear or by being a member of ICE. But they have literally opened up for recruitment, saying anybody can be down who's willing to give up their associations to the group that we are attacking. And that's going to continue happening because it's necessary for them to have ranks of people that can infiltrate, et cetera. And it's not like it's new, it's expanding, which is why the resistance also has to be recruiting.
Okay, so here's a few things. One, we must be in like a shared notes app. I have like a 30-minute rant on one of my podcasts about cooning for survival. Because I understand I get what that is. If I am enslaved, maybe humiliation for survival, to survive, also to be shown somewhat favorable, conditions, somewhat, other than the whip. If I can make that make sense. I can make that make sense, because also too, we are literally life and death every day.
Every day.
No alienable rights, none whatsoever. Like, not even considered human. Yeah, I can understand how that switch can flip in somebody's head.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have a note here: the Black conservative being a minority, but this also being an actual held ideology outside of being a grift. So now it's outside of like the Candace Owens grift of it all, and into like, no, this is actually how I think and who I am. So they've immersed themselves. For one, there is something to be said about considering being away from Black people upward mobility. So putting your children in situations where they are the extreme minority, because that can create two different type of people, right? This can create a radical or the super coon. You dig what I'm saying?
Yes.
And
super coon.
And so when we look at people like, Matt Nuclear, stage name, as like,
well, did you see the whole thing?
I had at about like
I think you missed the part where he's not Black American.
Yeah, no, I seen that for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then also too, like, the smug looks at a lot of your points for me was just like, he's not even here.
They cut out a part where he had gotten real beside himself, and they cut it to just where I said, so you're not gonna talk to me like that. Like, you need to talk to me like I'm your mama, because I don't know who you think I am. But it was very reflective of the rhetoric that we've been saying about this Charlie person, right? where there's just no regard for Black women at all.
Respect. There's nothing there. Like they have it's this odd thing of like they don't see it's almost like they don't see themselves. So, okay, perfect example. Down to Earth by Chris Rock, right?
Okay.
You remember when he was in the store and he was like, niggas wanna lie, niggas wanna try, but he don't know he a white man?
Yeah.
So the inverse of that. So you can imagine that there are niggas who are Chris Rocks walking around out purely the actor, not what the man represents.
No, but I mean, but it's like a body dysmorphia.
It's a body dysmorphia. Like they don't see themselves as they are. They don't see themselves as they're seen. And oftentimes that was
OJ.
So yeah, and
until
for whatever reason, they're the last ones to realize it. And oftentimes when they realize this is way too late.
Yeah, or something.
Or, you know, an unfortunate sacrifice. So the odd thing about people like that to me is like you're coming with a fact-based opinion, for one, like things that they can't really deny. And then it morphs into this thing of like a couple of the same points. Victim, you want to be a victim? When are we going to stop looking at ourselves as victim?
Yep.
Or they want to take it all the way back to slavery and talk about nothing that's happened since. So when you bring up redline and they're like, no,
that didn't exist.
Nobody brought up the fucking war on drugs. And it's like, it's odd to me because it's like, I say this all the time. We are living in the effects of the war on drugs. A lot of them will agree that poverty is a precursor to crime, but ignore the entire last 40 years and like what kind of conditions that created in the first place.
Well, something I've noticed today, right? Saying, post the scenario that took place, I don't want to engage in conspiracy theory. And the truth of the matter is that this entire nation is a conspiracy. Like I don't know how many old white retired men from retirees from this government have to write books and do lectures and do documentaries about the complete conspiracy that this place is for folks to grasp. Like, you're not entertaining conspiracy theory at this point, then you're not seeking truth, because it's not supposed to be about making up lies. It's supposed to be about dispelling the lies, right? So like even in the war on drugs, we can't even have that conversation because the real conversation that has to be had with people who actually want to have this whole, how did Black people get here? How did we get here? The people who want to have that real conversation will say, they did to us what they do everywhere else. They created a war to then attack us. The war on drugs was a war created by the white folks to then criminalize us. They just created another opportunity for bringing us into these and low-wage labor markets, aka prison, right? So
there is never,
but they don't want to have that conversation because they can't see that deep.
Well, then also too is like there's no. So when you said earlier, like we need to talk about capitalism, right? What is the so for one, point one, words matter. Words actually mean things.
Yes.
Yeah. Outside of just because you repeat something over and over doesn't remove the like dictionary.
Yes, I said that on the thing. I was like, just because you said it.
Right. So conspiracy means something. To conspire actually means something.
Yes.
So when you read Columbus's papers and he says, "Oh my gosh, these people are so generous. They would make the perfect slaves." There is a conspiracy. That nigga saying, "Oh guys, perfect plan. Perfect plan. I got it. I just figured it just hit me just now.
You know they don't know that to conspire is to plan.
Okay, so perfect. So great. So I mean, they would know it if it was 3 black men on an armed robbery charge, and then we were being charged with conspiracy. They would understand it then.
Touche. You're
You're
right. You're right.
Like, yes, these
Yeah,
niggas
got
had
it,
this
yeah,
all
got
messed up. They're criminal masterminds. You know what I'm saying? So that's point one, conspiracy, right? But the idea of capitalism is it has to be whatever the blueprint of it is, right? However a country functions. If we are in a building, there had to be blueprints laid down for this building to be built, correct? Right or wrong. So we got SKUs and all this different shit, right?
Yeah.
The SKU of America is 100% profit system.
That's it.
Based on human labor and natural resources.
That's it. And they've never found another way.
And so the very idea that we have to pay niggas for their labor is like, to them, they're like, they got away from us.
They like there's money on the table. There's niggas on the table.
There's niggas on the table.
Yeah.
Shit. So
and now they got vatos on the table. They like,
so there's even a crazier thing to me. It's like, have you ever seen a Black Klans member? Right? In theory, in actual like walking uniform.
I was gonna say, I mean, I can't. They're in the hood.
So there's a thing, right? But you can see a Hispanic ICE agent.
Hard body.
These niggas are crazy with the way that, first of all, you may have been here for 2 or 3 generations. You ready to close the borders. There's a lot going on in that community that we don't discuss. Anti-blackness being one of it. But they're like this assimilation that they do to the white supremacy power structure. It is like a baffling thing to me.
So I had someone explain it to me.
Okay.
And it was an Asian person. And what they were saying was that when they immigrated here, the United States exists differently than other places that are more homogenous, right? Because there's basically, like you said, there's a structure here that is very inherently capitalist and a history that is very binary. And that essentially when you get here, it is made abundantly clear to you via media, via government, and via your peer group that you come into, that if you want the easiest route here, you go to white.
Yeah. So this is their cooning for survival.
I mean, I think in their moment, yes, but I think there's a version of cooning for survival that is taking place. I also don't know why they left where they left, right? Like, were they ostracized there? And it was like, let me get something new because my place ain't rocking with me anyway. There's so many reasons why people leave. I know for a lot of folks that are migrants from Central America, South America, Mexico, they're leaving because their governments and their economic systems have been destabilized by the United States.
Right.
So
the entire war on drugs is to destabilize a Southern American country, while doubly, we're gonna flood these areas, these highly Black concentrated areas, with this drug that they can't afford. But at the university up the street, we figured it out. We figured out how to make it cheap and affordable.
Here's the thing that people forget, because the way that we learn history is very siloed. When in actuality, these things were happening in a very close sequential time frame.
Right.
Civil Rights Act of 1964, Voting Rights Act. So Malcolm X is murdered, assassinated, 1963. Civil rights, and so is Kennedy. 1964, Civil Rights Act. 1965, Voting Rights Act. 1967, Martin Luther King. 1968, Martin Luther King. 1968, riots. all over. 1968, Housing Rights Act, right? So these are three over the course of a short span of time. You're seeing these legislative efforts, so to speak, to say, okay, blacks, we're gonna be okay with you. Here, nigga, damn, right? Then we also at the same time have the college students demanding ethnic studies and a presence in academia. So this is happening in the 60s. Then we go into Vietnam. Simultaneously, we have the Black Arts Movement, we have the Black Power Movement, we have all these cultural movements of let's take back our identity. This is happening in a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
And they're like, these niggas is getting too hype.
Yeah.
So we're going to give them heroin in Vietnam.
For sure.
Frank White's going to give them heroin in New York. And so you have a whole generation that was hooked on heroin in the late 70s. And then they kept it going with crack. And after all of that pain of the 60s and all these assassinations and this war and losing all of these people, there's a fatigue and a welcome that drugs, I think, also brings. And let's not also forget, drugs did not really become deadly in the way that we know it to be until really the 80s. Like,
For
folks
sure.
was definitely doing coke and living their best lives.
Absolutely. So I think the thing is this is like anytime you have like a group of radical people, there is like a big if I'm going to be big in involvement in like going against the establishment, my decompression is also going to be big too. So, you know, in the sense of like, we're going to party, we're going to bullshit too. The same coke and heroin that people are doing and still being able to function in their day-to-day life, some or more than others, especially when we talk about heroin. We're not seeing that those people be able to come back from this new party drug that they're calling crack. It essentially just wiped out an entire
Also, the way things are cooked affects the ability to live off of. I've dated drug dealers.
Right.
The way that you cook a drug is going to determine people's ability to function.
Right. There should be more focus on what you just said. There should be more focus on the sequence of events. Because, you know, if we look at it like, if we started like Trayvon 2014, and for the average millennial adult, it's just like Trayvon, Mike Brown,
Listen. Correct.
Pandemic.
Yes.
Like first Trump presidency, pandemic, second Trump presidency, and it is, and with social media, it's quite literally like the thing that hit me yesterday, that has hit me several times before, is like you never fucking know what you're gonna wake up to with these damn phones. You never know.
No idea that conservative radical auntie was gonna wake you up at 6:15 a.m. today.
You never know what's gonna happen. I mean, and it gets more and more.
I really put my phone to the side, knowing that I don't want to be shocked for 2 hours.
It's literally just a, you know what I'm saying?
I was in the middle of my life yesterday, and I had plans. That's a wrap.
I was eating burrito tacos. You did.
I was settling in to watch a new Korean drama.
I'm over here fucking these tacos up. I'm dipping them. I'm doing my thing. And they called me like, bruh, did you see this shit? Nah, I ain't seen shit. And it started with the thing that happened in North Carolina. So did you see like the dude just randomly stabbed a white lady on the bus in North Carolina?
I heard about this, yes.
Yeah, so that happened. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. We'll keep an eye on it, right? Because I don't know what's going on.
Right.
And they're saying this is a Ukraine lady and all this shit. And I'm like, all right. I'll figure out how they're gonna spin this later. And then I get that call and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Oh, there's a video. Oh, nigga, there goes my day. There goes my day. there goes my day. Because it's like, of course, given and minding your position as well, is like people are going to want to hear what we have to say about it. But also, I try not to be extremely reactionary to things.
Fair.
But that was one of those things where it's just like, bro, this kind of warrants a reaction. Like, this is insane, my nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Wild.
This is insane.
And I've been saying that, like, we haven't even gotten to the assassination phase. I mean, we are now. But I've been saying, I said 2 years ago, we're going to enter an assassination phase because that's an essential part of preserving power because it incites fear. And if you do even a cursory study of the Third Reich and Hitler coming to power, like, in typical white people, they're not doing this with new plans. They're like, we're just going to steal some plans that's already been done.
For sure.
So what they're doing is the exact path that Hitler went. And there was the Night of the Long Swords. And the Night of the Long Swords was when Hitler was basically encouraged to murk folks that were in his squad, the SA, because they was getting too powerful. They was feeling themselves too much. And so he was encouraged, and they went around and murked them all. And
right. So it's like with any other gang, there always is an opportunity where the leader becomes so powerful, but is not doing any of the bidding. So the leader becomes like an ultimate delegator, right? The people that are carrying out, just let's call them missions, right? So people that are carrying them out are garnering so much respect and notoriety in those same spaces that they're going to start to believe, I could be the man.
Listen, when I was at MTV, I remember looking at TRL and being like, why got so many goddamn hosts? There are like 50, 11 hosts over there. And I was like thinking about this out loud one day, and my producer said, oh, you didn't know? They're never going to let another Carson happen. Because Carson Daly, for those who don't know, was this guy who had started TRL. This is a regular white guy. Like,
this nigga Carson Daly he was the host of TRL to this nigga is MTV.
Correct.
You get what I'm saying? Because now, because we have Kurt Loder and Sway carrying out news.
Yep.
Only a
all the music.
But all the music is coming through Carson Daly. And TRL is the biggest show on in the nation, for sure.
Yes.
And Carson Daly is interviewing all of the stars.
He also co-created it.
Ooh, so he had some equity in the game too. On the biggest show, because from this we get what is 106 in Park even a competitor yet, or does 106 in Park?
I mean, it comes out of it because it's Viacom, but ultimately, my point though was to just agree with you and say, like, once they see somebody popping, they like,
Carson Daly probably hit them with the, I should probably own MTV.
That's what they love to say that about Bill Cosby. He tried to buy NBC.
Okay. All right, so this is some nigga shit, right? This is some nigga shit. But somebody had tweeted out, they said Charlie Kirk was trying to buy NBC. That's just a very deep. That's like such a deep nigga joke. You know what I'm saying? There's like a highlighted verse in chapter 17. Like, you gotta read the whole nigga book to understand why that shit is funny. Because somebody retweeted it was like, bro, net worth was like $12 million. He's nowhere near me. I'm like,
no, you missed it.
You don't know.
So
So to your point though, even those in allegiance with me can't get to the point where they think they have as much power as me. Right?
Oh.
I'm interested to see how Ben Shapiro moves after this because
He
he's
just
already
canceled his tour.
he canceled some day. Oh, he canceled the entire tour.
He canceled it, to my knowledge.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I think that
You should tell your little agent to give them schools a holler.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
They got money allocated.
there's a power vacuum. And there is the conservative thing is let me go to colleges and debate children. So,
well, but here's the other thing that's more sinister, right? The conservative thing is let me go to colleges and indoctrinate. Right?
yeah.
Because if you look at like the Shiny Happy People, for instance, documentary about just the actual concerted effort to start young, and you look at the Israeli society and the concerted effort to start young, and if we're honest, look at our just regular old American society. Like we were pledging allegiance to a flag, right? So there's always an understanding that it starts with the kids. It starts with the kids. So them going to colleges is not simply just a money grab. It's also a very practiced and supported effort of let's get this into these spaces. And we also have seen that the colleges were not only the first thing that Hitler and them went for, but also we then saw Donald Trump go for these colleges and say, you know, we're going to undermine their messaging. We're going to be sending in somebody who's going to review the contents of their curriculum because they know that that is where the movements also begin. I mean, Kent State, Fisk,
Yeah.
North Carolina, like that's it.
It's such a because it is the breeding ground for like radical rage against the machine type mentality.
But Deontay, a lot of people do not understand that this is mission work for them. Like after like the civil rights movement, I think, okay, one of the things that really frustrates me about particularly folks online is that it seems like a lot of folks can only consider actions within the context of their own mortality. So it's like they only think about like these actions happening since they've been alive, even though the action has been in process before you. So immediately after the Voting Rights Act of 1965, Ronald Reagan ran for governor in California in 1966, and he ran on Make America Great Again, right? Like that's because y'all, these folks was like, oh, they putting niggas in the booths. We need to immediately start running this back. We need to immediately start squadding up and getting things in order to get America back to where it was. And his education secretary did like a very famous interview where he said, we cannot have an educated proletariat, aka working class. And that is when colleges started to become expensive because they were like, we can't have everybody have access to education. But I say that to say that like where we are now is a result of concerted, patient, methodical effort of white supremacists who are thinking long term. They are taking their time because they want to build something that will last.
Correct.
And so, I do not believe they will succeed, but that's what they're doing.
And historically, the odds aren't in their favor either. But I was having this conversation with these young men, and they like, they're trying to wrap their minds around gentrification because they're like 13, 14, 15. And so what the thing that they're saying is what we hear a lot of typical young men say is like, I'm poor, I don't know my father, type shit. My mom working 2 jobs and she's stressed out. I'm the oldest boy and I need to like help her. So yeah, like I be breaking in cars and I be selling little drugs on the side and shit. But I have aspirations to do something greater than this. Like I know what I'm doing is wrong, but it's the only thing that I see myself doing right now in order to help my mom out with this situation like of survival, correct? But he was like, also too, every year they raise the rent. So it's like, I don't even know if we're going to be able to afford to live here next year type shit. So we having this conversation. And my explanation to them is like, you didn't create these circumstances, right? The only thing that you can do to help change your circumstances is to have the information and the education about what got you to this situation here. And the whole thing is this. There are people out here with money that have time.
Yes.
So they live decade to decade with their planning.
Yes.
So the situation you're in now was planned before you were even born.
There it is.
You having to survive, you live day to day. These niggas live decade to decade with their planning.
Yes.
And their money does all the planning for them. And if they find the right mouthpiece to regurgitate talking points that are not only divisive, but charismatic and engaging, and bold enough to like deny facts, bold enough to like push an ideology through a religion, bold enough to know all these racist dog whistles, they will fund them.
Absolutely.
And bankrolling them is literally nothing, because these are also not the smartest people in the world. And they don't come from these extremely wealthy families. These are middle American college dropout idiots for the most part.
It can be used.
That can be used. And by propping them up, of course, capitalism is like an incentive.
Absolutely.
Now they can not only afford like certain things that ideologically make them think they're better than their counterparts to begin with, period. Right? If I already think I'm better than you by virtue of my skin color, me being bankrolled and having money.
We other stratosphere.
Nigga, we're off to the races. You niggas quite literally can't say shit to me. Even if you have more money and more education than me. Because the virtuous thing is that I was born better than you. That is the ideology that
they throw God into it.
Oof. Yeah. Because once we make my superiority divine,
baby.
I don't want to hear shit. What are we even doing? You know what I'm saying? Then you can get niggas like Charlie Kirk. They can call Jasmine Crockett a moron.
And then you can eulogize him by saying he was a deeply committed to faith man of God.
Okay, yeah. So we'll back this up with the Christian conservative on both sides, the white and the black. Now his death is divine. But also his party can use him, the party that he represents in the ideology can martyr him. And we're going to circulate these videos over and over again. And then you can even have somebody like Jasmine Crockett tweet out about political violence.
She did not.
Swear to God. You know what I commented?
Are you serious?
Nigga, I got it right here.
Come on, man. Why doesn't anybody have a goddamn... Maybe I'm bugging.
Okay, today's act of political violence in Utah against Charlie Kirk.
Why is it political violence? Okay, wait. Stop. No, wait. Let me say it while it's in my brain.
Let me say it. Because this is a script. Okay, we know it's a script. Let me read it, and then you can get your shit off. Today's act of political violence in Utah against Charlie Kirk is absolutely disgusting and unacceptable. We don't have to agree on everything, but we should all agree on this. Political violence is wrong and has no place in our democracy.
Jasmine, are you fucking serious? And I know that you're seeing this clip because someone on your team is going to send it to you.
You know what I said? One comment, 2 words. Check cleared.
So a lot of people's gripe with me is Amanda always has a problem. One, it's because Amanda is not able to ignore problems when she sees them. And if you haven't noticed, there's always a goddamn problem. Okay. The other part of that, though, is I have a problem with Democrats largely in part because I feel like I was used, like every other Black woman, to continue to perpetuate this entity that has actually perpetuated a passivity that has prevented us from being resistance fighters for our own actual liberation, our freedom on an economic level, on an education level, on a political level, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you see Democrats capitulating to the framing of this as political violence, you are seeing them align with fascism, because this is not an example of political violence. We do not know why he was murdered. We do not have a manifesto. We do not have somebody that has been taken into custody and said, I murked him because I didn't like his point of view. All we have seen is rhetoric that has been pushed through by the president and media as manufactured consent to now suppress any type of dissent of the government. And the Democrats are the government. And if you all will not understand that, you will never move past where we are. Democrats, Republicans are the government. George Jackson very notably said, I'm paraphrasing, if we're trying to win in the same political system that's holding us back, we are now the political system. We cannot engage. And it is shameful that she did that. It is shameful that Barack Obama, that Gavin Newsom, that any of them are framing this as political violence. It is not political violence. This is somebody who was in a who was in the setting and got murked.
Okay, but this is political violence to them, but Israel has a right to defend itself.
1,000%.
And that, what they are doing to the people of Palestine is political violence.
Without question. And Jasmine has been supportive of that because she has been supportive of the funding. And that is why I had to stop being cool with her. We had started to form a friendship and I had to pull back because I wasn't seeing her say anything in alignment with the very few individuals in Congress who were actively saying this is unacceptable. And genocide is a bottom line. It is a red line. And I know there's going to be listeners on here who are like, damn, here we go talking about the Palestinians again, or here we go talking about the genocide again. And I want y'all to know that they're money laundering your tax dollars to make
very, very clear to create a fucking white utopia.
That's it. They're money laundering our tax dollars. And I think that I'm trying to
talk about what they do to the people of Gaza when we see them deploy troops in DC.
They're doing the same thing. And when you study, it's I don't know how I've seen Black people actively, earnestly say it's not gonna happen to us. I genuinely don't get it.
I don't know what country these niggas are from.
I don't.
But you cannot quote the Panthers?
Yeah.
When the Panthers were in Palestine sitting down with them.
You can't.
In solidarity. So,
but also, let's take it back to what you said. This country was built on a blueprint of free labor. In order for them to enact that free labor, it was through political violence.
Political violence. And also, now, even more, so when we start talking about...
That pissed me off, Deontay. God damn it, that pissed me the fuck off.
Yeah. So now when we start talking about the loophole in the 13th Amendment, which is, okay, we can't legally have slaves, but we can funnel you into the system of slavery, correct? Which is the Department of Corrections.
Well, there's a very important nuance that took place at the abolition of slavery in the law. And the big argument between all the white men in Congress, because remember, Republicans and Democrats have never been, we're for Blacks and we're for whites. And that's a misnomer, whether it's a 65 Democrats and Republican flip or not. They've never been about equality. That was never the goal. So I want to start there. But the big beef, Deontay, is y'all trying to say Black people are equal to white people?
Bingo.
And they were like, we're not going to allow for the 13th Amendment, which abolishes slavery. We're not going to allow it to pass if you're trying to say Black people and white people are equal. And so the nuance that was written in was they're equal in the eyes of the law, which continues.
So if you break the law,
there you go.
Okay, so then also curfews,
Black laws,
black codes, vagrancy laws,
littering.
So it's all. And so you said something interesting on your live yesterday that we're in a time loop.
Mm-hmm.
I only saw a clip of this. I didn't see it live. So can you kind of explain to me? Because you've said it, and now you've had some time away from it, and I'm sure you've processed and thought about this since you said it. Because I think you said something about like somebody out there understands space-time continuums.
I'm a nigga that had to watch it 10 times before I was like,
Yeah. Nah. See, and I'm the opposite. After twice, if I don't understand, it's like, hey, some things ain't for me. You know what I'm saying?
Had to let that go. Had to let it go.
With me in mind, I tell you that.
Deontay, did you know you are delightful, Deontay? Did people tell you that?
Mm-mm.
You are delightful. I just want you to know that. You're a delightful Black man.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So here's the thing. I still don't understand the space-time continuum.
Yeah.
You know, there's a saying that says history doesn't repeat itself, it rhymes. And I've been thinking a lot about cycles, right? And the reality that like I can't think of a version of a cycle that doesn't cause disruption, right? So whether it's in the ground, if you do something over and over again, right? Like it's going to create a groove, a niche. If you do something in the air, it's going to move the particles in a particular way, right? So there's no version of a cycle that does not create some level of disturbance. When we look at the cycles that the United States has gone through repeatedly, it is all a cycle of like fighting for rights that should already be, that should or that are already apparent. So in this, again, this is a cursory theory I'm working through, but we are in a repeat of the cycle of the civil rights movement, except it's a flipped mirror. And the mirror is that the civil rights movement was the culmination of a fight to achieve rights that were already promised to Black people. A lot of people think the civil rights movement was like 2 years. No, the civil rights movement started immediately after we saw Plessy versus Ferguson. You know, once we saw the Supreme Court say, I know y'all passed these amendments and shit, but you can't protect Black people. It's going to be the states. They're going to have the right to do it. And then you saw all the states very quickly pull back all the rights and say, nope, separate but equal. No. So then Black people started the civil rights movement. We are now seeing the flip of that. Like how I said, immediately after the 65 Voting Rights Act, white people started their movement. We are in the mirror where white people are now fighting for rights that they're already promised. And we are now here again. But again, cycles always cause disturbance. So even though we're here again, it's not like it's the reset of a loop. There has already been displacement and disturbance. And much of that displacement and disturbance has been discussed by you, saying how like there are people who are now willingly in alignment with this, not just for money, but like ideologically.
Right. And so the
like the
original
planted.
Yeah. So we've seen like niggas have like fully like transmuted. It's gone from like this thing of like, this is the simulations.
Wait, can I say one thing? Can I say one thing?
Yes.
The reason why analysis is relevant is because, like Deontay said earlier, when you were like, These folks is thinking in decades when we're thinking like day to day.
Mhm.
We are so often in a reactionary space. We are
Right.
not thinking ahead because a lot of times we don't have the luxury to. And I
Right.
think as
Because
much as, and I think, you know, even though Du Bois had a eugenicness that was not cool, there is something valid to the concept of if you have the privilege to think without having to hustle,
yeah.
then you better be thinking 10 steps ahead using the knowledge that's already here. And that's why I do
Right.
the work that I do.
And you speak to that, and also like the Du Bois, like the double consciousness. I'm in a place where I'm thinking about everything you're saying, and there's a couple of time periods that stick out. So we first get the first Black Code, so to speak, like 1865, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the Pullman Porter strike,
Mm-hmm.
1890. So now we looking at like labor laws
Yep.
that
Gilded
we're
Age.
also seeing very, very prevalent right now in the
Yes.
technological revolution, AI,
Absolutely.
taking jobs, and
That's a great addition to that analysis. I didn't even think about that. Thank you.
so we're at a turning point there where we're going to start seeing people fight for labor laws, probably some universal basic income, X, Y, and Z, right? But we also are fighting against these first Black codes that pop up upon abolition of slavery on paper, right?
Yeah.
So now that we're going to see ICE hitting the street, kidnapping people, things like that, where basically your existence is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a brown person, your existence is illegal, and you're subject to being considered an illegal alien in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Black people, time and time again throughout our history in this country, our skin is the indictment.
Yes.
So we're going to start to see those Black codes and those things in effect simultaneously.
Well, SCOTUS just passed. Profiling is cool. I mean, they didn't pass it, but they made a brief.
But also too, but the thing is like when it comes to him, his approval of something is law to them, like to his constituents, right? To the people who believe in his ideology.
Yes.
So we have us reflecting on history, back into Black codes, back into labor strikes, right? Then the blueprint of, like you say, the Third Reich, 1930s to mid 40s. Then the inverse of civil rights.
Yes.
50s, 60s, mid 70s. My thing is, what is this? Because we also have like a silent epidemic of fentanyl, like just killing people.
Yeah.
Just no more like addiction epidemic. Just
right.
like straight
it's like just takes you out.
Just takes you straight out. So then global political violence, Sudan, global political violence, Congo, global political violence, Palestine. So it for somebody that is extremely aware, like in the sense that me and you are, and can pull on these historical facts that are playing on a loop, and then to be up against people who literally don't care about facts, don't care about history, are perpetual victims, are narcissistic in their ideology and endeavors, and in their existence of how they live, in contrast to anybody who isn't straight and white or Christian or whatever. How do you even begin to have the conversation with somebody about being proactive? And you know that the thing that we're going to always be up against is, well, y'all are talking about all the problems, but what are the solutions? When they don't want to acknowledge any of the issues at hand at all, unless it supports whatever their ideology is. And a lot of times their ideology, if it doesn't directly benefit them for being white, if they're Black, their ideology is all about cooning and assimilation for survival.
I don't think that's who we should be talking to.
I'm in agreement with you. I only want to be discussing these things in, honestly, kind of like a real nigga like that.
Well,
Not
I think
echo
but I think there's a spectrum, right? Like what you're like we're on the ends of a spectrum. Like you and I are on one end, that mosquito was in the middle. There's another and those people that you just named are on the other end of that spectrum. But in the middle of that, to me, what is actually more frustrating is the people who don't think they are that, but are still employing the practices of willful ignorance, of contrarianism, of misogyny, etc., that prevents them from actually fighting that. So, like, I see so many Black folks, for instance, who consider themselves to be like pro-Black, who consider themselves to be down, who consider themselves to be informed. However, their knowledge is very, very surface. And it has typically only been provided to them by resources that we know are controlled propaganda. So, like, if
Right.
your source point for your information is the news, right?
Yeah.
That's just not going to give you enough to have a truly grounded, rooted analysis of where we really are. And you
Right. So
can't find a solution without doing that. So I feel like I'm arguing a lot of time with Black people who love Black people as much as I do,
with
but
no
who
historical context.
and no analysis base. And
Right.
so now we're arguing with each other instead of being able to say, oh, tell me more about
Mhm.
how you got to this analysis, right? And that I think is a result of so much mainstream media and social media encouraging toxicity as a method to exist in. So, like, when I did, to bring us full circle, when I did the Jubilee thing, I walked into that room and so many people who knew I was doing it were like, murder them, like annihilate them. And when I got in that room, that wasn't the directive that came over me. That was not the signal that I downloaded from the spirit. It was really, oh, I need to educate.
Right.
Like,
And
I
I
have to
think,
be in this space in love. And these people may not be, but
yeah,
that's
but
how I have to be.
well, the thing is too, is like, okay, if we are going to engage in a debate, then I have to operate on the basis of
Well,
what a
but
debate
Deontay,
is.
it's also not really a debate. Like, debates have rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, debates have etiquette. Like,
This is
these
some
is
freelance debating shit,
they
right? This
just
is
running their mouth. And I had to at one point be like, hey, I'm not gonna do this if the rules are just they can talk over me and lie. Like, that's not what I came here to do.
for sure. So, and like that's what I was going to get to, though. I think that you engaged in it from an academic perspective. Like, there are kind of rules of engagement in debate, and the basis of it is intellectualism. Like, it is
Yes.
it is
Absolutely.
highly intellectual. So, in a formal debate setting, facts
Are the
and
whole thing. That's literally it.
yeah. The more the crazier thing is there is an like X factor of charisma, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
There is an X factor of like just being a like public speaking is a performance. Like, you
Mhm.
have to,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying? It's a performance art for sure.
Absolutely.
Um, but the more informed person and the person who can carry that information over better. What's up, baby? The person dang, you can't be my baby too old for that now. But
Is that your son?
yeah.
What's
he'll
up, baby?
be he'll be 14 in 13 days. So
Wow, congrats.
yeah, thank you. So the thing is if this is based on intellect, right? Now you go into a room like Jubilee where this is like content
Yes.
based. It's less about the intellect and more about the clicks and engagement.
Facts.
Now I'm saying that to make a point.
Okay.
We've gone away from a pure intellectual exchange
You're a
of
purpose.
information
Go there.
to contrarianism
Yep.
via rage bait.
Yep.
So if this is an effective enough grift to get me engagement, this can possibly create a career path for me, which we have seen create the careers of the likes of Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro.
So there was a nigga on there who told me I was acting like an animal. And I had him removed.
Which one was this?
I'm not even going to tell you because I purposely made it abundantly clear that his segment was not allowed to be included because I know that it was for that purpose.
Yeah. So when I saw Matt Nuclear, I knew what he was there for.
Same. You saw me say, "Are you acting?"
Yeah. So his whole thing was, I need to be here so that I can create. Because it's not even politics. I don't like this.
Nope.
I don't like this. I don't like this shit of like, this is a political analysis. Nigga, this is just contrarianism and rage baiting. You are literally just presenting bullshit to people.
Yep. Absolutely.
And misinformation. You can't call a platform built off of misinformation a political analysis. That's just not what it is. So
but that's what they're doing. And by the way, that's what the Democrats are doing when they support this. When they use that same language, they actually are purporting that.
Because you're giving weight, you're giving credence to this as a political ideology, nigga. This nigga, if that's the case, then David Duke was a great politician.
Absolutely. And they would not deny that, actually.
Probably not. So there is a few people that stuck out to me, some more than others. The one guy that it's all brown and he has the frames and he kind of like Jordan Peele. Yeah. Him. So he got to a point where he was like, fuck, I've asked too many questions. I've tried to understand. And I realized like, he's smart enough to realize like, oh, whatever I'm going to say to this is bullshit.
Well, so, that is a debate tactic, right? To get people on their heels by you being the one asking the questions. And where he messed up.
Immediately. Man, you could tell he was kind of fucked up because he was like, damn.
She got me.
The whole game within 5 seconds.
So, what he didn't think was, so first of all, I from day one told Jubilee I'm coming into this as one black radical versus 20 black conservatives. It was not brought to my attention until the fourth young lady got up there to talk to me. Well, the fourth person. So she was the second young lady. She came up there, they cut it, but she was like, just so you know, they keep calling you a liberal because that's what they told us you were. So they were prepped
to argue with the liberal.
Now they don't know that it's me until I walk in the room. So when I walked in the room, I heard a couple, oh shit.
Because they knew they was in for a long day. Because the thing is like, no matter what you want to say, if I have my master's in African American studies, right? If I have accolades to back this thing up and an entire career in political analysis and activism, nigga, you kind of can't fuck with me. Now, especially if the basis of your ideology isn't fact-based. If it all is based on a fallacy.
Opinion and your experience and blah, blah, blah.
And also like, nigga, this is not like some credible, you know what I mean? Like this is a content creation center.
Yeah. Like we're not at the Oxford.
Yeah, you dig what I'm saying?
We're not
so
I'm
not the most renowned black conservatives at all. Because the thing is like, when I see people like,
black conservative is an oxymoron. But
absolutely, yeah. So that within itself is just like, what the fuck ever. The thing is like, I spend a lot of time, when I'm in like a little free space and I want to know more, I actually do engage content wise with like conservative right wing shit just to see like what are they talking about, because I don't want to be in this echo chamber of like just hearing things that I already agree with. I need to see what people are saying. And so like when 2018, when like Candace Owens was at her like absolute peak, and I was like, oh, I see what she is. She's very clearly like very smart, but I can see how this works for her as a grift.
How are we defining smart?
She presents as very intelligent. Let me say that. I would say more so presents as. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, because
It's an aesthetic.
yeah, because the rhetoric is not. It's just like it's this fast talking. It's the Ben Shapiro shit. Just the fast talking. I already have my talking points. I'm not gonna like. I can't capitulate to your point. I'm not. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of da, right? So I would say presents as intelligent, right?
Mhm.
So I like ever since then I always knew like, oh, okay, these are their talking points. Like it's not a lot of. It all kind of like
Facts.
it's like a
It's like the R&B singers of this era. There's 4 notes, and they're gonna give you them 4 notes, 4 different ways, 8 different ways, 12 different ways, 24.
You know, they throw it in there.
Yeah.
Bar 4, bar 8, bar 12, bar
Mhm.
16. You get the 4 notes, right? So I was like, oh, this is like this is not hard to understand. This is also why it works. Because
Yes.
the people that they are like influencing are not looking for anything complex, and they're not looking for anything that has a root network. So like the way that I look at things is like branches. It's a network. It's a system. One thing, it's a cause and effect. Cause and effect
Yes,
is
and then you
very
keep
you
going. Yes.
you keep going, right? And it's not this rabbit hole that people just saying like things are connected.
You explore. Yeah.
Explore, right? So you could go through and listen to all of their talking points, and it's black on black crime, slavery, absentee fathers,
I was gonna say
and then
that's a hit record for them.
oh man, they had all the greatest hits. They had it queued up. And I was like, if there is no like context, if there is no historical context, if there is no context for cause and effect, if you telling me redlining isn't a real thing, it's just like, yeah, there's no conversation to be had. Even with the young lady from Chicago, it's
Oh.
like my father was murdered, and it's like, okay,
She called her mother's cousin not her cousin. She was like, my cousin, I mean my mother's cousin. So, but here's the real takeaway, Deontay.
what?
The real takeaway for me is that so I had a lot of people asking me, oh, do you feel like you convinced any of them? Do you feel like you changed any of their minds? That is not the goal of debate. The goal of debate is not to convince the other person. The goal of debate is to uh, stand on and defend your side of the debate in such a way that you are more, you're basically dispelling the burden of proof more than the other person.
Correct.
That is the point of debate. And so
Yeah.
you're not debating for engagement with the other person. You're debating as a platform of information presentation for an audience. So
Correct.
any
So
audience
all
that's
of the people that are watching,
yes,
it's not
that
about
is
the,
it's
yeah.
not about the people I'm debating. So that's when I saw people saying like, I mean, this wasn't even this was a waste of Amanda Seals' time because I mean, she wasn't even debating smart people. You're missing the point, and you're actually demonstrating a lack of depth on what I'm doing. I am using a platform that has become notable to present a very particular conversation that needs to happen in a space where it will get high volume, and doing so in a manner grounded and educated. I didn't partake in the goal of creating content like you were talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't come there with the mindset of like I'm gonna do sound bites and I'm gonna really show out here, even though there were people that told me that that's what I should do. No, this is about to be boring. I want this to be for y'all to watch.
Sound bites in and of itself were based in like irrefutable facts and things that you can research and look up, and you should. And Best thing that I noticed about that entire platform is that they do fact checks off to the
Yes.
side, which
Then you had
was
people saying the fact checks were proving her wrong. No, they were not.
actually they were a lot of times they were backing you up. But so there's also this thing of like, I'm going to go into this as a conservative, and Amanda is already wrong in my eyes. There's
That's
nothing
it.
she can do or say, right?
Our
But
ideologies.
so, just like anything else, and like you said earlier, there's a spectrum, and
That
there is
was
a
shown there.
there's rooted systems of thought, right? There's rooted schools of thought here, and I hate to say the goal, but the goal is to figure out how to influence all these people that are in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
that are like that have unfounded ideologies, right? Like people have called me liberal, and
Liberal. You're not
and I say, this is what I tell people all the time. Full stop. My ideology is the liberation of Black people.
Yeah. But that's not liberal.
That's not liberal. It's not. And so then I've been called a Black nationalist, and I've been called a multitude of things. And I say, liberation of Black people and however we can get there, and also to liberate the minds of anybody in earshot or eye view. Like, if you can see me and you can hear me, just do that. Because the amount of non-Black people that reach out to me, because they understand how what I'm saying also applies to their said group, given that they don't deny imperialist systems. Like, I would say the biggest form of self-hatred that kept coming up, Black people hate themselves. Biggest form of self-hatred to me is the denial of an imperialist system.
1000%. Yes.
Yeah.
The failure to acknowledge the villain while continuing to only blame a victim is self-hatred.
Yeah. Okay. So if you're a henchman, right? Your boss doesn't look like you. The other henchmen don't look like you. But for some reason, all the people that you're taking out do. Nigga.
You should ask yourself. It's like when you look at certain people's pages and you're like, you don't realize that everybody in your comments is a cracker.
Oh, well.
You don't realize that everybody agreeing with you don't look like you.
So
that should tell you that you on the wrong page, playboys and girls and non-binaries.
I'm in a place where it's like we are entering a space where we're kind of past, like in my mind, we're past the grift. Because to me,
there's real consequences. It's real consequences.
Real consequences, and like the grift and the money don't matter no more. You really on some, you have picked a side type shit.
Oh, of course. Yeah. We're beyond a grift. When you're literally being used to go to Palestine and make videos that aid is not being sent in because of the UN, when that's just simply not true. This is no longer a grift. Like, you are a minion of, like, that's like devil's minions. You know what I mean? Like, you're in the mix of it all. Well, and so that, but this is why we come back to capitalism, because this still gets many people off the hook with, well, they got to get a bag. You know, they're just getting the bag. You know, they got to get the dollars somehow, etc. And that is the excuse that we have been indoctrinated to believe is a sufficient reason and explanation for allowing yourself to be a tool of your own people's destruction.
So there's a funny thing that happens where everything is about a bag until the bag is too big. Now, black people do this to each other all the time. Go get your bag, go get your money, right? And when that means you're 100,000-aire, we're good. When that means that you're at a millionaire status and our lives don't have any relativity or crossover at all anymore, now this nigga sold his soul to the devil.
Yes.
So,
well, people undermine my point of view on a regular basis, saying like, well, you can't talk because you have money. And it's like, well, first of all, I didn't always have money. And I honestly feel like if I have money, I should be talking the most because I have
isn't that what
less
y'all,
to
but
lose.
also if you said nothing,
That, of course,
then your platform, you don't use your platform. So we have to also understand that there's an entire sector of people that it will never be good enough for. So there's going to be people that black people are always just going to be at fault and flawed, right? I wanted to say this about Charlie Kirk, and like this would be like my closing statement about that whole thing.
Okay.
On Twitter, Benjamin Netanyahu sent prayers up for Charlie Kirk and his family. So nigga,
like if you doing the same thing as him,
you know what I'm saying?
You not on the right. You not that whole right side of history. You're on the wrong side.
Yeah, because if Hitler is basically thoughts and prayers for you,
baby,
personal.
I don't want TZPs.
Not even a tweet. You know, like I'm really sending a personal shout out to the big one.
You send me that?
Yeah, I got you.
Someone said to me, someone said, and I thought this was a really dope quote. I don't know who the source of it is, but they said, I'm unbothered by your boos because I see what you cheer for.
Yeah, that's a quote from Rick and Morty.
Is it?
Yeah.
From Rick?
All right. So, yeah. Rick was being arrested for something. He was like, "Oh, I don't care about your boos. I've seen you what you cheer for. It's just real shit." Rick and Morty's it's one of the movies. Okay.
That was like Oscar Wilde.
Fuck no. I'm going to use our last 8 minutes wisely. I did announce to my Patreon that you were coming, so they do have some questions.
Oh, cool.
What was your political stance during the last presidential election, knowing the reality of a two-party system?
My political stance during the last election, knowing the reality of a two-party system, was that many people were incredibly demoralized and disenchanted with the two-party system. So they would either participate by voting for a third-party option, whether it's PSL or Working Families, or not Working Families, or come on, Jill Stein.
Yeah.
Or they would not participate at all. And so my political stance was the Democrats then need to engage those who would be in that group if they want to win. And I get really misnomered and misrepresented as telling people not to vote for Kamala Harris, which I actively never did because I don't endorse anyone. So I definitely didn't tell people. I told people not to vote for Trump. I actively said that. But what I did say was that if Kamala and the Democrats want to win, they need to engage the left. And people felt that me having critique of that, people felt that me being frustrated with her engaging with the right, with her stumping with this, Dick Cheney's daughter, etc. People felt that my criticism of that was more about. They felt that my criticism of that was disengaging voters. When in actuality, my criticism of that is meant to engage Democrats in behaving differently. And what people fail to realize is these folks are watching us. They are actually seeing what we say. I was summoned by Kamala Harris when I was at Bloody Sunday in Alabama because she saw me And this is before she was a candidate, but she's seen my videos where I was being critical of how she was showing up as a Black woman in this vice presidential position, telling immigrants not to come, saying that the United States isn't racist. These types of behaviors I felt were antithetical to why I supported the necessity for a Black woman to be in that position. So that was my political position.
Okay. Which, for whatever reason, critique is.
Let me tell you, Deontay, well, we've seen people have taken money, right? So we know that. We know people have taken money to create content. And it was no mystery that there was a concerted effort to discredit my voice and to use other Black influencers. I won't say other because I'm not an influencer, but to use Black influencers to do so.
Well, because you're more of you are a radical, but you're also very extremely educated in your stance. So the thing is like, you're not disengaging voters. You're trying to provide
trying to engage
better engage with the left. Yeah.
Yes.
With your constituents.
Yes, that's literally what I was trying to do, because I don't believe in manipulating voters, which is what a lot of the people who were being used by the Democrats were participating in. And I had been used in that way in 2020, where it's like, no, don't tell people to ask for what they want, to demand reparations, etc. Just tell them that they have no choice but to do this and don't ask questions. That seemed logical at the time. It was illogical to have to do that again. Because why are we in the same situation again? Why were we in a crisis before and now we're in the same crisis? That means that you all like this. I've been with whack niggas before. When you stay in it, it's because you like it. There's only victims and volunteers. So, and wait, let me correct that. Not abusive situations, because there's a very real thing about being an abusive. Yes. So let me just before anyone takes that little piece of this interview and is like,
we're talking about the political stage.
Yes. So I just say that to say that what I wanted to do was engage with the left, engage with Democrats in a way that had respect for them differently than how the Republicans engage with their constituency, which is, we're just going to lie to you and we're going to play on your emotions to convince you to do whatever we ask you to do. And I thought that was manipulative and dishonest, and I didn't want to be a part of that. And my messaging was co-opted by individuals who felt fine doing that.
Understood. You always show up with such a high level of focus and purpose. What are some of the most effective forms of self-care that you practice?
I rest. I get a good night's sleep. I go to bed between 10:30 and 11 o'clock. I'm surrounded by animals and nature, and I make a point to enjoy them and not take them for granted. So I know that may seem kind of like, what do you mean? But like, for instance, today, like my dog got the zoomies and I could have just been like, all right, nigga, and kept it moving. But instead I joined in with the zoomies.
Yeah.
And those little moments may seem kind of like, perfunctory, but they really do add to your like shot of serotonin, particularly when you're so attached to this phone that's doing that you got to get it from like natural places.
Right.
I've also just removed many people from my space. That's like a real form of self-care. I've removed people from my space that simply aren't vibrationally aligned with me. And what I mean by that is I feel like a lot of people that I was around did not actually know me and did not actually understand me. And the more that I knew me and understood me, the less I felt inclined to have to mold myself for their understanding. One of the easiest ways to do this is to just be vulnerable with somebody and see how they respond to it. And if they respond defensively, or they respond in a way that makes you feel like you have to defend your vulnerability, they are not a safe space person. It doesn't mean that you necessarily have to cut them off, but it means like, you got to shift their positioning. So like things like this have been self-care. Also, matcha ice cream.
Hold on. The two together?
Haagen-Dazs matcha ice cream. I'll eat a pint for dinner,
That
which is
was
which is why I'm a large in shorts now.
That's why you think.
Yep. Yep.
Hey
That
man.
and you know what the other pro on self-care is? I finally decided that I needed to get on medication to regulate. And I fought that for a long time because of big pharma and because, you know, the West and Western medicine.
Yeah, for sure.
But I live in the West.
Yeah. And
you know, and for what it's worth, I did everything in my power to fight it. I did the working out, I did the reading, I did the eating right, I did all the things, and I still couldn't regulate. I was so deeply afflicted by the amount of demoralizing news and knowledge that was coming through me that I finally said, you know what, let me get on this Lexapro. And I take the lowest dose of Lexapro and I take it daily. And now I'm Lexapro thick.
type shit. All right, Miss Seals. We got one more.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll close. What 5 books should one read to learn about being radical? What is your explanation of what it means to be radical during the verses? Oh, okay. Your explanation of what it means to be a radical during the verses was spot on, and also awesome way to distinguish oneself from a liberal. So they saying, you know, that you did a great job of distinguishing yourself from a liberal. But what are 5 books that one should read to learn about being a radical?
Blood in My Eye by George Jackson. Asada, her autobiography. There you go. Black Power by Kwame Ture, and he co-wrote it with somebody else, and I apologize for not being able to pull their name out the sky right now. I mean, the concept of the Black radical and Black Marxism was created by was like formalized by Cedric Robinson, and so you can read Black Marxism, and that gives you kind of just the more theory-based conversation there.
For it, so to speak.
And then Freedom Dreams by Robin D.G. Kelley. The Black Radical Imagination. And then the bonus, I would say, hold on, what's the name of her book? Rahel Tesfamariam has a book called Imagine Freedom. And you know, because I named a lot of names that were like, you know, names, but we need to be bigging up, and we need to be platforming, and we need to be reading the minds of our current time. She's one of them. And you can also read Ruha Benjamin's book, Imagination. And you can check her out on my podcast where we talk about imagination as resistance. And Ruha Benjamin is the sister who did that commencement speech at Spelman when she famously said, "Black faces and Black spaces will not save us."
Type shit. Nah, I know exactly what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
We back. I don't. Yeah, I got my little board over here. I'm gonna pull a soundbite from your ass in here and put it on the soundboard. But thank you so much.
So how was it? How was your first virtual interview?
I fuck with it. I mean, first of all, setting the bar very high. You know what I'm saying? He set the bar. Hold on, Funk Master Flex. Hold on. You know I got all type of shit over here. We got the Funk Master Flex bombs over here.
Master Flex night.
If you in New York City right now, All right. So
That was a time. That was a time.
we're gonna let you get to therapy, but thank you so much for taking the time. This is gonna be
Points were
great.
made.
Points were made, laughs were had, and people leave with some education that they can go, research and educate themselves on. So thank you. I know that you do your show.
Wait, I want to add one more book
What's up?
because I made a point in the beginning about how we need to have our mental wellness, right?
Mhm.
We need to have our spiritual wellness. And so I suggest that everybody read the book Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents.
Write that down.
Because for the vast majority of us, that was simply just the reality of the era that our parents were in. They did not even get the opportunity, the time, the space to be emotionally mature. And we are a result of that. And it is our responsibility to do the due diligence to address the things that became that came out of that impede us from being able to show up in our most connected and soulful selves.
Absolutely.
That was a sub for you.
Damn. All right. Well, I wrote it down. I'm gonna go check it out. Hopefully they got the audio book because that's
I believe. Yeah, I'm sure.
Because I gotta put that junk on a 1.5 or a 2 so I can really
get through.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. So there, a lot of people don't know this. Me and you know this. In the midst of my working days, you was trying to get me on there on the Wednesdays. Has that ship sailed?
No.
Okay, well,
I hit you up and said, I now do the show on Wednesdays. Let me know when you around. Because this nigga was like, I am unavailable. I have no time. I am simply just unable. I said, well, you know what? That's a busy man.
I did not say it like that.
He definitely said it like that, y'all. I'm sorry. I cannot accommodate this one day that you do interviews. I am a very important person.
This was actually very early into people requesting me on interviews, and I was still working 12 hours a day in a truck. So I could not accommodate on a Wednesday.
I wish you had said, on Wednesdays, I'd be driving my truck. Because I was like, because let me just tell you, I'm not saying that this is you, but there is a cadre of quote unquote influencers. And there's a definite, there's a, what's the word I'm looking for? There's an energy of self-value and worth that often comes off as like, you need me more than I need you, when really all I'm trying to do is build community.
We're just trying to have a conversation.
That's all I'm trying to do is build community, and to be quite honest, expose my audience to other voices than the ones that are constantly thrown in their face and presented as the be-all end-all when they're actually just upholding establishment.
I've started answering emails as myself. When I was first doing this whole email thing, I was trying to
like you need the team, and you need this, and you need that, because you need to posture, and you need to show up a certain way. And let me tell you something, brother, you're coming up in a time where that's untoward, because folks is really over this celebrity shit.
Well, also, that ain't even who I am or how I represent myself publicly. So I don't need to hide behind professionalism in a fucking email. People be emailing me, I'd be like, hell nah, I'm straight.
Same.
That's how I email back now. I'm just like, nah, I'm straight. No best regards, no none of that, nigga. It's just
folks still hit me up for roles. And I keep getting asked to do because that's all they make now is propaganda. So they're always asking are you available? What are your avails to play detective such and such, or to play, FBI agent such and such? And I always respond, it's ACAB all day over here. I do not play the roles of law enforcement. And they're like,
there is no black radical cop.
No, get out of here.
All right. I mean, you could start your own like universe of Black radical police, Austin Powers. You know what I'm saying? Type.
Dun,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Fighting the power
like a
structure.
Shaft type. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see it. I
Yeah.
see it. Okay.
We'll figure it out. I'm
Now,
a,
are we still gonna do the live the day of?
yes.
Okay.
We can do that. We'll do that Tuesday because this will come out next Wednesday.
Okay, because Wednesday I'm on. Well, so you are now available on Wednesdays.
Yes, I am. I am.
Congrats. That's a big move.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care of yourself though. You know, it's like because it can feel like if I don't do everything all the time, then I'm not gonna get it done, and then I'm gonna be the source of my own demise.
I'm over that
And
shit.
okay.
I spun out in fucking all of August on that.
Okay. Yeah,
Quite
it's
literally.
not okay. You're back?
I said this shit doesn't feel good. I don't like the way I'm talking to myself. Also, this isn't real, nigga.
Like you're your boss.
Like this pressure that I'm putting on myself is not real, bro.
No.
This is all expectations that I've set for myself, and I don't have to do that because I didn't get here by doing that. So I'm not gonna create a path forward. That's just
I will say that I do find fallacy when people say like I didn't get here doing that because it's like right, but once you get to a certain space, you do have to expand. Like when you like what's required to be a parent is not what's required to make a baby.
These are facts. So
so there is expansion needed, but sometimes I think people do it in a way that
yeah. It's not. First of all, I'm just not gonna like do like a full ethic and personality change in the course of 6 months. Like this is not exactly. And that's the thing I had to come to. And it's like, look, bro, my ethic is my ethic. The things that I've been doing well this far, we're going to keep those. The things that I feel like I need to work on, we're going to work on those. And we're not going to try to make it this drastic thing. It's just, if I need delegation, I will figure out how to delegate. If I need help, I will ask for help. But I will not be packing my days up with like, I'm doing 3 meetings this morning, and then I have an appearance over here. And
I think that's helped me is like making a day or making like 2 days that are delegated like meeting days. And letting my agents know, this is when I had agents, but letting them know like I am available for meetings Mondays and Tuesdays between 12 and 3.
Okay, that's smart. I'm still in that.
And letting them know like that's what it is. And then I also built in Fridays are off. I am not available on Friday for nothing. Because even if it is an exception, people know that they can't just bring you anything. They got to really think because the niggas said Friday is off limits. So if we bring it to them, it's got to be something legit.
It got to be that thing. You know what I'm saying? It got to be that man. You hear me?
So those boundaries really helped me. And then I also had to create the boundary of the end of the workday. I had to do that during COVID. Because I would just be like, oh, dope. That's good.
Yeah.
You also have a kid.
Thrice.
Yikes.
So, yeah. And my baby is 7. So, I get up and I take her to school. That's like one of the things where I'm like, I get to take her to school. Shit is lit. You know what I'm saying? We get our little daddy-daughter time.
Yes.
Because we're the only one in elementary, so.
So you have a 7-year-old, a 14-year-old.
And an 11-year-old.
Nice.
Yeah. This is the most headstrong person in this house. So it's like, it's basically me as a child. Welcome. I just have to do it myself as an 11-year-old.
So this is my last phrase that I will give you, my last word. Be the person for him that you needed at 11. And reading that book will help you refine that.
I've been dipping and dabbing in books. where it's like I'm also kind of like, ooh, this ain't really hitting me like I want it. Like I really need something that I can really latch on to when it comes to like books. And I haven't been finding that. So I've been like skimming.
Yeah.
Chapter here, chapter there, chapter here, chapter there. But that is something I'm really interested in. So I'm gonna take you up on that.
All right.
And then I'll check in with you in like 90 days.
Thank you.
All right.
I'll be
Thank you.
So I'll
And
see
we'll
you next Tuesday.
next Tuesday, yes.
What
And
time?
we will pin down the time.
Because I have tennis. Yeah, I have tennis.
I fuck with that. Actually, really fuck with that. Really want black people in equipment sports. That's really my like next wave. Trades and equipment sports is like where I'm at with it right now.
So I'm out of pocket from 1:30 to 3:30.
Oh no, well, see, I was thinking about something more along late afternoon, early evening.
Perfect.
All right, cool. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, the iconic, the radical Amanda Seals.
See, I like that much better. I like that much. This was a blast. Thanks for having me.